In this wonderful game that we call League of Legends, we have many tactics that can be used to help yourself gain an advantage. In this case, there's a bit of a silly, cheesy tactic I use, in which I basically go as best as I can to throw a deep wood in the enemy jungle to spot out where Evelyn might be existing, in an attempt to get myself a small advantage over the enemy Katarina. And I don't know why I'm fighting a Katarina in the top lane, but apparently I was, as Poppy. There are several issues with this matchup that are not in Katarina's favor. The most of which is that since the entire enemy team is squishy, I have many choices as to what exactly it is that I can build. I'm just kind of scattering around to see if anyone's at the red right now. So in this case, I'm going to be working towards getting a Triforce because then that'll basically allow me to one-shot anyone in the enemy team. And here's the ward that starts it all. It's a pretty simple ward. It gives me a vision of when someone's trying to go for the blue buff. If they try to pull it out, I'd probably see it. And in this case, it does the job pretty well. However, the key for this to work is that I also have to be able to establish my own lane dominance against Katarina. And Poppy is able to do this pretty well because she has a lot of ways to do this. Notably her Q, since it does a lot of damage surprisingly, is a very good zoning tool to keep Katarina away from her minion wave. And as you can see, I spot Evelyn and I just run straight down there. I do end up burning my flash as I kind of mess up on my engage slightly. However, the amount of damage I do to Evelyn almost negates that, and luckily, the Aatrox also comes in behind me and helps me secure the kill, which gets me red. Afterwards, we try to kill the Katarina, but it doesn't go so well. So instead, we just decide to take the blue, so it's all good. So, I have a bit of advantage over Katarina now. With both red and blue, this means I can pretty much stay in lane almost indefinitely. Especially with my auto attacks just hitting so hard because of the extra burn damage from the red buff. And you're going to see that throughout this whole thing I'm also going to be chugging my corruption potion to keep my health as high as possible. I don't necessarily need it for the mana so much, but more so for the HP. Having the HP difference against Katarina is a huge benefit. And it just helps a lot with just being able to just snowball this lane out of control. The reason as to why I went for this invade is because Evelyn is a very dangerous jungler to just let run rampant. Once Evelyn hits level 6 and becomes activated, it's really hard to stop her ganks, even if she is even maybe just one kill behind. She can still kind of come back just by doing some heavy farming. So in order to stop that, you had to kind of really put her down by taking not only just the chance for her to kill, and unfortunately this is sad. However, Katarina did burn everything on that, so I have a bit of advantage there. That's what I was saying. Getting the advantage over Evelyn in this game is going to be the massive difference between whether or not we can win or lose. Evelyn is a snowballing jungler, obviously. She's an assassin. She relies on getting quick kills on the team before they can even know what's going on. Getting that early kill on her really screwed up her jungle pathing because now she kind of has to be a bit safer in what she does. Because not only does she give a kill away, she gave away first blood, and then she also had the blue buff taken from her, and she lost the red buff. That's a lot of things to lose that early in the game. And that ends up really almost destroying the enemy team because they don't have a jungler they can work on. And as you can see here, I'm also placing myself between the minion waves, this way Katarina can't farm, because if you look at the video, you see that I have almost double Katarina's farm just by doing this. By placing myself here, I also set myself up for a wall stun using Poppy's heroic charge. I'm trying to position myself properly so I can get one, and you'll see me try to make an engage, which doesn't go out quite so well because I didn't get the wall stun I was looking for. But in general, placing myself like this kind of spooks away Katarina from her CS, which allows me to basically out-farm her towards the mid-game. There's going to be a bit of another cheesy kill coming up pretty soon, where I use everything I have to kill her. Actually, not quite. Right here when she steps up a bit too far, where I'm still in the middle of my wind wave, right there. And then, it was just like one of those perfect moments that passive came up just at the exact right time, and also Aatrox getting Red Dragon probably helped a little bit there. So at this point, Aatrox has control of the jungle, I'm dominating the top lane, and Talon is kind of surviving against Xayah in the mid lane for whatever reason. There was a very weird thing going on with the enemy team. I also want to point that out here, is that the enemy had a very strange setup for their team. None of them had any way of survivability except for maybe the Sona, but even then, that was pseudo-survivability. Meanwhile, in terms of our team, we have both me as Poppy and our support as Braum to kind of work on keeping our team alive and also being able to withstand and engage in the enemy team. Because my armor gain, of course, just makes it this way. All of them do a little bit less damage to me. This is a bit of a kill steal, honestly. I didn't necessarily need to do that. I wanted to. It was mean, and I kind of feel bad about it, but at the same time I kind of don't. So as you can see, here I'm trying to set up for a slow push against the Katarina, kind of like you see someone like LZ Khan do when he has a massive advantage. Unfortunately, my team tries to be really aggressive here and try to dive Katarina before I'm ready to set up the before I even have the slow push set up. And I don't know why they did that. It actually really bothered me when they did. Like, I was rather annoyed when they did that. Especially because Aatrox died to Katarina for no reason. However, then, you know, I do my Poppy stuff and kind of, I'm waiting on my cooldown for my E tier so I can get a wall stun on Sona, which then leads me to killing Katarina. So, yeah. At this point, it's probably safe to say that the game is pretty much over for them. Katarina could not get her own ball rolling. Evelyn got farmed out of her jungle. And at this point, I'm managing to thrive, and I'm deciding that, me and Miss Fortune both deciding that we should probably get out of here. Also, Miss Fortune's also gotten pretty fed, so we have that going for us as well. And it, in general, it's just a really, really bad situation for the enemy team. What's really going to cinch it here is that pretty soon there's going to be a bit of a fight over around the mid lane and the bot side jungle. And that's what's really going to cinch this game here, because at that point, everything is pretty much going to fall apart for the enemy team. Because with the Triforce, I can come pretty close to just about one-shotting almost anyone on the enemy team as pretty much a tank. You're actually going to see some pretty disgusting moments here where, like here, Evelyn just gets straight annihilated, even though she probably could have gone away from that if she had maybe used her ultimate. But even so, it's still just outright disgusting. Meanwhile, Jin's getting a triple kill, and I don't know what happened in mid lane. I didn't really see it. But whatever, I come back here, help Miss Fortune take the tower, and then we set up for one final team fight in the bot lane. Or in the river, anyways. I held myself in the bush because I know that someone's going to pass by eventually. I saw Sona coming in through the... Not yet, I'm going to get the scuttle crab real quick. And then I see Sona coming in. And I just wait in the bush. Just wait, just watch her health. It's just... It's so disgusting. Zaya tries to flash and fails it, and at that point, the game's over right then. Enemy team surrendered, and that's the game. So, if you have cheese available, take a use of it, because, as I say, cheese doesn't very much indeed win your games.